Hello and welcome. This is A Chat to the Professional, the show that has been designed to x-ray the activities of professional individuals and corporate bodies. My name, as always, Martin Sobu. Today we are discussing politics. We are focusing on 2011 elections and we are focusing on good governance in Nigeria. I am going to be having one of the presidential aspirants for the 2011 elections. This is a man we all know very well. He's been very theoretical as well as practical in all he has done for those who know him well. And today he seeks elections into the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are talking about Professor Pat Utomi. And what we shall be seeking to look at is not the activities of his party. We want to look at what he will be able to offer Nigerians if elected president of our great country, Nigeria. We shall be looking at the education sector. We shall be looking at infrastructural development, among other issues, and that's what A Chat to the Professional will be seeking to discuss today. The whole idea is to ensure that we have, like I keep saying, round holes or round pegs in round holes and square pegs in square holes, so that indeed we can come out to say we are proud Nigerians, the country known as the giant of Africa. Let us be giant of Africa indeed, not just by the word of mouth. So the interview segment comes on after this break. Please don't go away. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. You're still watching A Chat to the Professional, the show designed to x-ray the activities of professional individuals and corporate bodies. Like I mentioned to you in my introduction, today once again we are discussing politics with emphasis on our great country, Nigeria. I have here with me a man who needs no introduction. If you are a Nigerian, he is one of the presidential aspirants hoping to be elected come April 2011 as the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So join me now as I welcome to the studio Professor Pat Utomi. Prof, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good to have you. Now, 2011 elections is around the corner. This, I think, is your third time.
No, this is the second.
Okay, the second time you're aspiring to be the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So far, have you seen a change, as it were, in the system of election from the party primaries up the ladder?
Well, let me say that, you know, in everything you do, you must have some very clear goals. If you don't have goals, then you're not serious. I ran in the last round, 2007, because I saw that what we had was not a democracy. It was not serious. It was not focused on the issues that affect Nigerian people. And I thought that it was important to set the agenda. I got into that process, and I think can be verified, I was the only presidential candidate that traveled state to state, visited every state in Nigeria. I was the only one. Because I didn't have money, I did it in 4 or 5 cars, but I went around everywhere. I talked to 200 Nigerians, traditional rulers I met, and it was an education for me because I got to know our country well. Now, as you and I know, that exercise was a complete farce. You know, 2007. To be very frank, I continued immediately after the elections with one goal, to see if I could bring together a strong and viable opposition. I had a number of reasons why that was important to me. First of all, I'm an institutionalist. If you look at my work, it's been mainly in the area of institutional economics. How does economic performance take place because of the strength of institutions? And so I thought, if there's anything I could do for my country, if there's any legacy I could leave behind, it is to ensure that people understand the value in a two-party democracy. Any group of people in power for longer than a period of time, 10, 12 years, often make dangerous mistakes, no matter how well intended. That's why the Thatchers, you know, were literally, you know, shown the way out after they had done a remarkable job for their country for years and all of that. So I have spent most of my energy, a lot of my limited resources in the last 3-4 years trying to work the opposition. in that process, I kept saying to everybody, and I said it so much that people like Chief Olufalaye, who's chairman of my party, said to me, stop saying this, it gives a wrong impression. But I don't care. I say, I don't matter. Don't even make me cleaner. But let us have a clear body of ideas we agree to that will move Nigeria forward. Okay. Let us pick one team that will take it forward. Okay. And I would have done my bit. Okay. By the beginning of last year, 2010, I was pretty much frustrated with the effort, with everything I'd invested. Yes. And I woke up, my New Year resolution was to my wife, I'm out of this thing. I can work with young people, civil society, and have as much of an impact that history will remember as possible. But these fellows are not serious people. Okay. They don't, really believe in their country, and said all kinds of things. As the course of the year rolled on, I found myself caught up in one activity or the other. Before I knew it, I was pronounced interim chairman of a party. I wasn't even there. Then I was told I was going to be a candidate. I said, oh, really? Then, but if this is what will bring the opposition together, then I must do it. This is the ultimate sacrifice I can make for my country. Yes. And as I kept saying to people, so far, I am not satisfied with either the ruling party or the opposition, what we have managed to do. And I think we all deserve to be locked up in one room and flogged 24 strokes. I'm not joking. We all deserve to be. Sadly, I think 2011 is going to be as much a farce as 2007. Wow. But let's see.
Well, let us be optimistic here. Let's hope that things will be done the proper way this time around. But you've worked so much with the young people, and this program seeks to empower the youth. We seek to bring out the best out of the youth. And I am asking, if you travel around the world, you see a number of Nigerian professionals doing very well, remarkably well. And most of these professionals had their basic training in Nigeria way back.
Absolutely.
And look at our education system today. If you get in there as the president, what do you think we should do to ensure that people come out of the university with a certificate they can defend? Come out from the university, and when you ask them, what do you want to do? The person is in the affirmative telling you, this is my direction. Rather than what we have now, someone comes out, what do you want to do? Anything.
Well, your question is really music to my ears, because education and where it has left us. Yes. I don't know when we're on air, but I give the convocation lecture of the University of Technology in Abeokuta, yes. Sometime during the course of March, and it's about the collapse of our educational system, and where we are. First, I think that your emphasis in the question, in fact, points to the heart of the problem. Okay. In Nigeria, it's all about university education, tertiary education. We forget that you need a certain basic background to be able to make something out of university education. Yeah. And we've abandoned attention to primary education. Yeah. Quality secondary education is only in some private strongholds and maybe one or two federal kind of establishments. Yes. Other than that, total collapse. Total collapse. I listened to, I think, the registrar of WAEC on December 23rd last year, and I started crying. In the car, I was listening to him lamenting the state of education, the collapse of culture in Nigeria. Even with cheating, we can't pass. Yeah. With the enormity of the cheating, 20-something% only can manage to pass with math and English and all of that, or get a number of credits. And I'm going, what happened to Nigeria? So if we're going to make a difference, we've got to go back and begin with primary education. We've got to connect of parents, community, and the state in the process of design, monitoring, and essentially reinforcing the education process. The way it is now, we're not getting value out of it. And so what happens is that garbage enters the university system, so what can exit can only be garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. So the first thing we must do is ease the emphasis on tertiary education. We need more universities, we need more better graduates, but they won't happen unless we take care of the basics. The UBE program has not gone as it should go. I'm glad Professor Payo Banya, who was the inaugural UBE person and one of our best thinkers in education, is heading this Jonathan Education Task Force But the truth of the matter is that the UBE didn't go the way. The collapse of culture in Nigeria generally, that drives everything around contracts and all of that, took working that program the way it should have worked. So primary education is still in crisis. Vocational education is dead in Nigeria. So there are no skills. You know, this, I've said this many times so that I might be sounding like a broken record.
Yeah.
You come into a house, you look at the tiling. If the lines are not straight, you know they were done by Nigerians. If the lines are straight, you know some Togolese or Ghanaians have done tiling. What is education if it's not life skills? It's not things we can apply and make a difference in our lives with. So I think we need to change all of this. And then when we get to tertiary education, we need to not only provide the basic skills, knowledge, know-how, know-why, and the values that support it. Because if you, what do you say, someone has been found worthy in character and learning when you're giving the certificate. You have all the knowledge in the world, you don't have the right character, it's a waste of investment. So when we then do that, we can ensure that part of the curriculum involves entrepreneurship training. When it sets the mindset and people have real skills, they can use that skill to translate possibilities into value and create more jobs, create wealth for society.
All right, thank you very much. I'm sure you are as thrilled as I am here in the studio. Professor Pat Utomi is someone you know very well, and once it has to do with education, he's very passionate about it. We must take a break now, viewers. Please don't go away. We'll be right back.